Hello. Right, this one's for the core. I've got a core and more just because I've done more core. You're going to need a band. That's all you need. A body weight and a band. If you don't have a band, don't worry about it. With just your body weight, that is completely A-okay. We're just basically going to work ass, back and side. Back side. I think I've done that before. And abs. So we'll start with the ass. So we're going to start on our back in a hip bridge position. So lie on down. Feet about hip width apart, tilt your tailbone, and then lift your hips up and lower hips down. It's going to roll, lift your hips up off the floor, and then lowering down again. Oh, it's a bit dark in here. So focus on here is the ass, so the squeeze of the ass as you lift your hips up. So drive your heels into the floor, and then squeeze your booty before you lift up again. So thinking really big clench before you lift. Don't worry about how high your hips are lifting off the floor. Just really think about the clenching of the bum. Clenching of the booty. This is kind of like just warming up the bum. This is the nicest round just to warm it up. Everything is 1 minute, and the more you go through, think of just clenching your bum a little bit harder. Nice. And now just hold your hips up. And we're just going to walk the legs forward, and then come in and in. And then just alternate your leading leg each time as you reach your legs forward, in, and in. And what you're going to feel is your bum and also more the back leg. So maybe your calves and your hamstrings. Your calves is this part, the back of the leg, from the lower leg, and your hamstrings is the bit between the bum and the knees. So you're going to feel your bum, your hamstrings, and your calves. So keeping the hips up, walking forward and back. Trying to keep your hips as level as possible. So that might mean keep not walking the feet that far away at all. Or it might mean if you can keep them level and you can manage more, walk your feet further away. The further away you go, the more challenging it is. And if the further away you go, yes, your hips might be relatively close to the floor. That is okay. Nice. Last one. Then walk your feet in towards your butt again. We're going to keep the hips up and just go for an alternate leg lift. So you lift one knee off the floor, place the heel down, and then lift the other leg off the floor. So have a little pause when you replace one foot. Feel the weight and the pressure shift into that leg before you then lift the other leg off. So you got that pause to remain equal level hips, and you'll feel the pressure go from 100% into one butt cheek, and then 100% into the other butt cheek. Now, if you're needing a break, by the way, I've not got many breaks in this at all. Just take them. If you're feeling it somewhere like the front of the thigh or the back, definitely take a break. Just tuck your knees in, have a little release, and then come again. And maybe don't lift the hips as high. You can sometimes even do this with your bum not even leaving the floor, as long as you're putting down loads of pressure and squeezing the one butt cheek at a time. So it's just a really short, quick block. Nice. Rolling over into plank position. So we're going to do knees down plank to start with. Knees down or knees in. So either hands or forearms. Knees down. We're just going to hold for 1 minute. So you can either hold here, tuck your tailbone and hold. Or if you can, just walk your hands a little bit further forward. Bring your hips further in front of the knees and hold. And if you want to be off the wrists, then come down to the forearms and hold. So what you're looking for is a straight line from your butt to your head. And that is a straight line, horizontal line across. Can't get that level. Horizontal line across. So lots of people say straight line. People assume it's a straight line downwards from your shoulders to your butt. But actually you're looking for like a tabletop, and then it kind of goes off towards the knees. So really lifting up through the belly and just checking that the hips aren't below the shoulders. So lift up and brace super strong. And every time you breathe out, think of pulling your elbows or your hands towards you, like you're trying to pull the carpet or pull the floor towards you, and feel the difference in your abs. If you feel your back, take a little break, join back in. Now you can do this on the next one is shoulder taps. You can do it on the forearms if you want. So shoulder tap, and then place down, and then switch. Just make sure you're not just going like this and keeping one elbow on the floor, but you're actually lifting the elbow off, going down and switch, lift the other elbow off, come down and switch, or you might find this one easier to do up on the hands. Shoulder tap and switch, shoulder tap and switch. Now every time you do this, your hips are going to try and twist and open, and the goal, and this time we're working on core now, is resisting that opening. So if you're finding you've got a lot of hip rocking side to side, just take your knees a little bit wider, and then you should be able to maintain more level hips. I'm just going to try and just add a little pause, and then place the hand down. Pause and place the hand down. We're at first level, just maybe feel okay. So again, if you need to, knees underneath, and you're here. Yeah, perfect. And then we go to high low planks. So high planks on your hands, low planks on your forearms. So you can do that on knees, with knees in box, coming down to your forearms, pushing yourself back up. Or again, if your knees down plank, it's weight forward, down to the forearms, push yourself back up. And then just alternate your leading arms. So you might go right, left, left, and then it's a reverse, left, and right, left, and right. We're still trying to maintain that plank position, so resisting the urge to get like this, rocking down and up and up. So it's locking in as tight as possible. And your hand should be under the shoulder here in high plank. Then your elbow is under the shoulder when you're in low plank. And the challenge is getting the hand back where they're underneath the shoulder here. So it's where the elbow was. And don't worry, we'll be out of the arms and shoulders to go back into the lower body. Nice. Roll over. Onto your backs. We will be doing that again. So round 2, we're going to top half triple pulse. So what I mean by that is you lift your hips up and you pulse and you go 3, 2, 1, come down, and then lift again, 3, and 2, and 1, and then come down. So this time I'm hoping your bum will start to really burn from this kind of driving and constant pressure at the top. Clench in and clench. Nice. It's a really tiny movement. Really tiny, about inch movement at the top. But you're in control of how hard you clench. So you can not clench hard at all, and you won't really feel your bum at all. You'll be like, yeah, breezy, breezy. But if you can, it's like maximum clench, like you're trying to crush a can between your butt cheeks. Like, pow, strongest, most powerful ass in town. Clenching, clenching, clenching. And also loads of downward pressure through the feet into the floor, and that's going to help activate your bum even more as well. 3, and 2, and 1. Hold the hips up. So you're going to walk the legs forward to your extended hip bridge, and then from here, just lift one leg off, place it down, and then go to the other leg off, and place it down. Same principles as before. Don't worry if your hips are quite close to the floor. Don't worry if your hips are even on the floor, and you just feel the pressure in one leg than the other. And the heels closer to the bum, it's easier. Heels further away is more challenging. So you're looking to go as far away as you can manage before you feel it kind of, either feel like it's going to kind of rip your hamstrings or cramping too much, or if it's too much kind of like hip rocking. So just a little lift, feel the hamstrings on the butt, place it down and then switch in. And a bit like we did with that toe tap, shoulder tap, try not to just slam the foot down, but instead you place it down. Listen. Last time we do these. Nice. And then walk the feet back in. We're going for a single leg hip bridge, regular hip bridge position. 1 knee up, triple pulse again. So go 3 and 2 and 1. Hold it up. Switch legs. Feel the weight transition. And then 3, 2, 1. Hold it up. Switch legs. Feel the weight transition. And then go again. Slow, controlled squeezes of the butt. And breaks when needed. And just make sure it is when needed. So if you're feeling pain, discomfort, discomfort, is that the right word to say? Cramp, I started saying crap there. Cramp, if you're feeling in the wrong place, so you're feeling maybe in your back, your front of thighs, your quads, you take a break. But if it's just because it's burning, try and hold on to it. Nearly there. 3 and 2 and 1. That's for me. Nice. Roll over. So it's going back to that plank sequence. If you can, you're on the toes. If not, you're on the knees. So feel the toes, shoulder the wrists, still get the brace, still get that flat tabletop position. You just tuck the toes and lift the knees off the floor. And if you're kind of like, oh God, I'm not sure I can hold it on my toes, try it. And then pop down to the knees if you need to. And if you think I can't do a minute on my toes, that's fine. Just do as long as you can. Go down to the knees. If you start feeling at your back, come down, take a child's pose, and then go back in. And again, you could go maybe 5 seconds on the toes, and then maybe 5 seconds on the knees. And then keep on alternating. Or if you can, just holding the whole time. But just like we said, we're on your forearms, on your knees, so you're pulling the carpet towards you. Pull it towards you, like dragging down and in, and then feel the difference of your abs. You're going to feel your abs, your ribs come towards your hips and contract a little bit harder. Let's go for that shoulder tap. So if you need to take that quick child's pose, take it, and then come back in. Forearms or hands, toes if you can, just take your feet a little bit wider, and go for a plank shoulder tap, place the hand down, and switch. And switching and alternating. So, looking from the front, I'm hoping it shows it right. Your feet are a little bit wider than normal, so that it's not that your hips are rocking out side to side. So we're not opening the hips like this. If you find you're on your toes, you're going bam, bam, and you're just whipping yourself, I'd rather you go on the knees and have that control. And if you kind of like, oh, I don't want to be on the toes, why don't you try like a 3-second hold on the toes, then pop to the knees, do control tap, and then back onto the hold on the toes, and that way you're still like building your way up. Only 5 more seconds to go, and then it's everyone's favourite harder planks. So if you need to take a little child's pose, take it. If not, you're down to the forearms, and then back up to the hands, bam, and bam. Your hands are under the shoulders, your elbows are under the shoulders, and now the hand comes back under the shoulders again. It's going to try and come to the side or out in front, and the challenge is to get it right underneath you to push yourself back up. You are going to feel that in your upper body a lot. Checking the hips rocking, and just check if you're on the toes that you're not now just leaving your butt up in the air into kind of more of a down dog position, but bringing your hips down with you. So you still get the shoulders over the elbows, and it's a solid plank up and down. And this is round 2 of 2, by the way. So you're not going to have to do this again. Keep it alternating your leading arms. Oh, everyone loves hollow planks. Am I right? I'm going to say yes. Nice. And relax. Have a little stretch out if you need. Right. This way you need the band. If you don't have the band, that's fine. Just use your body weight. So grab yourself a band. You're going to pop it around your knees. Got about 20 seconds to do it. It's the longest break of the whole sesh. So pop it just above the knees. Gonna lie down your side, any side, with legs bent, knees stacked on top of each other. Stack the hips, move a clam. So just lifting the top leg up and then lowering down. Lifting the leg up and lowering down. So the thing with the clam focuses the side body. And then keep your hip bones pointing forward. So be mindful not to open out really wide with the knees, but then roll open and point your hips up to the ceiling. So we're trying to attempt to keep the hips pointing forward the whole time. And I'm just going to hold the knee up. Hips still pointing forward, so keep rolling it forward. Not so worried about the height, more worried about the side of the butt, side of the leg. Everything's 30 seconds. We're going to do so much on this side. But again, we do one side, and then we're only going to do it once. You just then have to do the other side. So I'm hoping right now the side of your bum's burning a little bit. If it's not, poke it a little bit to try and make it activate and squeeze. And then we do pulses. So keep up and pulse and pulse and pulse. Oh my God, my ass already burns. If your knees are closer together but you still feel the squeeze inside the bum, don't care. Oh, my ass, it burns, burns, burns. And we're just going to make this a little bit bigger. So keep the bottom leg bent, extend the top leg, and lift the leg up and down. Lifting up and lowering down. Flex your foot, and what we do is pulling the toes towards the shin. So rather than pointing the toes, pull the toes in. And then you're keeping the side of your foot parallel to both, the ceiling and the floor. Ceiling and the floor. So we're just going to repeat what we just did, but with a long leg. And then we holding the leg up. So just hold the leg up and hold. Check if you're bending at the knee or pointing at the toes, flex, and then push away like you're pushing all behind you. Squeeze in the side of your booty. I've been a wimp, by the way. I've gone for a lighter band just because when I did my really thick band on the banded booty band, I couldn't complete it. But I should just have kept doing it. I'm being a baby. Hold the leg up and pulse. Little pulse. I'm really hoping that your left band is burning. And that, again, is regardless of band or not band. This should burn even without a band. I love that. I'm like, oh, I was a wimp. I am dying. My butt is dying. The butt. Just don't get this cramp any other muscle. Why don't? Oh, yeah. Short and sweet. We're just going to go bigger again from here. So we're going to just push ourselves up onto the hand. Lift the knee up. So lift your waist up. And then again, lift the top leg. Or just kick the table. And then coming down. So lifting the top leg up. And then coming down. Lifting the top leg up. And then coming down. So you're now going to feel the side bum underneath you and a little bit of the side waist. You can also do this on the knees if you want to be off the wrists. So easier is actually here and then with the knee in a little bit closer underneath your hips. So choose where you want to be. And then holding the leg up. Hold it. Can't believe, I was like, oh, they could have just done it with a blind band. This is bad enough. Keep flexing the foot. So nearly done on this side. But we've got to pulse first, right? We're going to pulse, lifting up higher from here, a little higher and higher and higher and higher. Which bum hurts more, this or the bottom one? Mine is both, definitely the top one more though. So lifting, I think I mostly did that one. Just have a little break. Oh, right, no more breaks till the end, 10 and 15 seconds to go. And then all we do is switch sides and do it all again. Go on, a little bit higher. Talking to me as long as you. Other side, you've got 10 seconds to literally just transition over. One more side, done. So lie down, stack the knees, top knee lifts and lower. So the knees are bent to start with. Keep the hip bones pointing forwards. So you know how it feels. Feels pretty nice. And this second side is going to feel just as nice, if not nicer. And by that, I mean worse. It's going to burn more, probably because it was used on the other side. Holding the clam up. Hold it up. Oh. Still held it though. Don't want to give up. I'm still holding. Sometimes you've got to work out why do you take a break? Is it because you genuinely need it, or it's because you just want it and you want to just release out that tension? So for me, I'm still holding. I really, really, really want to break, but I'm still holding, which means I can. Top off little pulses, little pulse, little lift, little lift, little lift. You just got to work out if it's your physical body that cannot do it, if it's not capable of it, or if it's just your head that's being like, nah, it's too much. It's not, it's often the head. It's amazing how if you were to put a situation where you had to do it, say you'd win £1 million if you did it, you'd probably be able to do a lot more than you realise. Nice, from here, just extend the top leg and go for the same again, lifting up and then lowering down. Lifting and lowering, flexing the foot, so not pointing but pulling the toes backwards. Noticing if you're just suddenly rolled out and lifting and pointing your hips up, They're still in the same direction. Go straight and up and down the knees. Stay stacked over one another. Make sure the front knee is never going in front. Front knee, top knee is never going in front. And then we're holding it up. Mommy, help me. It's good to work on the butt. The butt is the powerhouse of so many things. Helps support your spine, helps with your walking, helps with your running, helps with hiking, helps with jumping, helps with cycling, helps with injury reduction. So strong butt, it's great. And it's now fashionable. Top half little pulses, little pulse, little pulse, little pulse. My booty burns so much. Does your booty burn with me? And you know from here we're coming to that modified side plank. We've got 90 more seconds of effort, and then that is it. You can do anything for 90 seconds. Push yourself up. Scoot the knee in. Lift the top leg up. Oops, kick the sofa this time. Up and down. Stack your shoulders. Stack your hips. Suddenly you feel how it feels when you've got the underneath side working more as well. The further the knee is away from you, the more you're going to feel that. And the more you can bring it in, it'll be a little bit easier. You can do it on your forearms. Come on, you can do it. Hold up. Oh! Why? I designed these as well. Show's got to work on it as well. I just had a break and I was like, cool, had a break. Now you're going to go through the whole thing without another break. Oh! And then top off little pulses, little looped. Someone was telling me about Joe Wicks, like, just don't know how he fakes it. I was like, he's probably being for real, it probably really hurts. I'm dying. Did that. I'm honest for the break. I'm not taking down the break now to the end. This is it. 15 seconds. Can you get your leg longer? Make sure you're not tossing really fast. Can you give it slow and squeezy? Maybe you can go to just a smidge higher. Go 3, 2, 1. Oh. Bit of a band. And then stretch your bum. You can do that lying on your back. Oh, just cross your ankle over. Oh, push your leg in. That cramp is like nothing else. Please tell me, give me feedback and tell me I'm not alone with this. And you've got the same feeling. And your ass right now as well is like, oh. And this is where when it's being like, oh, it's really tight, you really got to breathe. Just try and let it relax. Switch your legs. Bonus of that workout though, not sweaty. Not high heart rate. No. Job's a good one. That workout might tease you in that first bit maybe. I don't know what's your hardest. Come on over, rock yourself up, come to all fours. Do you remember we did the abs? So cat and cow, just rounding your back and then arching your back. Rounding and arching. So a little release of your back and a little release of your abs. You'll get your abs this bit when you kind of pull the ribs away from the hips. And then just bring the toes together, open your knees wide, push your hips back, and as you do, throw the one arm underneath. So you get the shoulder and ear down, you see a little shoulder stretch. As you get a stretch in your back, you might have your hips further forward, you might be able to stick your hips all the way back towards your butt. Just go where it feels good. Releasing the shoulders from the time we're in plank while also getting a little back stretch as well. And switch your arms. And now the burn's pretty much gone, and you're like, cool, let's do it again. Wasn't that bad? That is it. That's us done. Well done. Short and sweet. Short and a little bit spicy. Yeah, really, really well done. If you know anyone that needs to work on their core, again, these are nice short workouts that you can do. So recommend them. Any questions or feedback, let me know. If it burnt you as much as it burnt me, let me know. If it didn't, feel free to go and brag about that. And then maybe use a heavier band next time. Yes, well done, and see you all soon.